Try that again. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the House Higher Ed Subcommittee meeting for Monday, February the 5th. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Representatives Baum.
Here.
Butler.
Here.
Gillespie.
Here.
Haston.
Here.
Love.
Here.
Parkinson. Chairman White.
Here.
Chairman Lafferty.
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Members, any personal orders before we get started? Okay, seeing none. We have got a couple of bills on the calendar day. First up, we've got Chairman Reagan with House Bill 1660. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
We got a motion and a second. Chairman Reagan, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you for the motion and the second. Thank you, committee members, for hearing what I've got to say to you. I'm going to take this bill off notice in order to put amendments on it that have been brought to me by concerned parties. And unfortunately, the amendments are such that it will take longer than a week to do. So I'm not rolling the bill. I am going to put it back on notice once the amendment is constructed. And with that, again, thank you for your time, your attention, and the motion. I will be back. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Chairman. That bill having been rolled, we're on to item number 2. Oh, off notice. I'm sorry. My apologies. We are on to our second bill today. This is House Bill 1923 by Representative Butler. Looking for a motion. We have a motion. We have motion and a second. Representative Butler, when you're ready, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, committee and chairman. So we have students that are dual enrolled in Tennessee across our state, dual enrolled in welding and cosmetology and lots of different programs at TCATS. And so what this bill does is it will prioritize the students that we have already invested money into while they're in high school to be able to ensure there's an available seat when they graduate, whether it be the summer or the fall classes. And so, again, as I mentioned last week on another piece of legislation, this came with my daughter trying to do the same thing in cosmetology. She had started her cosmetology education, dual enrolled as a high school student, and wanted to continue that on. And sometimes I think as a state, we overlook some of these types of things. And this bill simply just corrects that. It doesn't kick anybody out that is already in a program. It just simply places the dual enrolled student at the top of the waiting list. If there's a waiting list, if there's no waiting list, this really doesn't apply to them. But I know in some of the TCATs across the state, they have lengthy waiting lists. And so with that, I'll renew my motion and answer any questions.
Members, do we have any questions? Chairman White, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. And I support your bill. I think it's a good bill. The conversation we had around it, now this is for students that have taken advantage of the dual enrollment, where they're ready to move on and just move right into the trade school system, right?
You're recognized.
Yes, Chairman. That this would let them. So let's just say they have a welding. They've gotten 300 hours of welding as a high school senior, dual enrolled. They would be able to continue that until they got their certificate. Or cosmetology, there's an hour requirement in cosmetology. And so in high school, they may be able to get 400 or 500 hours of the 1,500, I believe, that's required. And so they would just be prioritized to continue that.
Prioritized.
You're recognized, please.
And so our only concerns when we talk to TBR, since we are at a stage where we're having to retool so many of our adult population through our trade schools and get back into the workforce, that reserving this spot, would it hurt them? I think the answer I've gotten so far is we don't really know, but I think everyone is pretty much okay with this language also.
Representative Butler, you're recognized.
And that's been discussed, and I've talked to TBR. They helped draft this legislation trying to help fix this problem. And it could potentially push an adult student down the list if they were number one and a high school student. But we have already invested our state resources and our time and our effort and our energy in these dual enrolled high school students. And the problem is we have a dual enrolled high school student that gets 300 or 400 hours and then goes to the summer and something changes, their life changes, they go in a different direction, and they never come back and finish that certification. So that's what I'm trying to do, is correct this gap.
Chairman White.
But I think there is language in there that the high school student does have to commit earlier enough to kind of let the system know that back January of their senior year.
Yes, Chairman, that is correct.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be a free-for-all for the student. They've got to meet a deadline so that seat could be filled with somebody else if they choose not to take it.
Thank you.
No, Representative Love.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question actually was answered by what Chairman White asked and you answered, so thank you.
Easy enough. Members, any other questions? All ready to vote? All right. All those in favor of passing HB 1923, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. And we're off to education full education administration. Thank you. Members, seeing no other business on the calendar. Oh, Representative Love, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just a procedural scheduling question. I know that we're starting session at 4 o'clock now, I believe. I mean, like after today. So it's 4 o'clock for the rest of the session, I believe. You're right. And I know that we may have some bills that go beyond the hour in this committee. Are we planning on sticking with this time slot, Mr. Chairman, or are there plans to adjust that?
That is a wonderful question. I will have to get with the clerk and get that out to the committee. I will find that out for the committee and we'll pass that out through our office.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, members, no other business? Are we ready to adjourn? We are adjourned.